TheFrameRate podcast. My name is Morg, and I'm here with Sir Gaius Newton. Say hello.
Hello, it is I, Sir
Uh,
Gaius Newton, the Pope.
Alrighty. I'm also here with James, the mod abuser. He's a fun guy. Say hello as well.
You don't have to, hype me up or anything, but hi.
Listen, man, he's a hype beast.
The
Alright.
most calm hype beast you've ever seen.
The most calm hype beast. Thank you. I take that as a compliment.
A calm storm, even.
Alrighty. So the topic we've got going today is that the similarities between fighting games, like, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat being similar games and all that. We do have a couple criteria for this topic, which is that we aren't comparing games from the same franchise, such as Street Fighter 1 with Street Fighter 5, things like that. We're going to be comparing different fighting games from different companies and different fan bases and groups. So to start us off, what's the earliest fighting game that you guys have played that you started to notice that there were a lot of things going similar?
Um, I would have to say with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, to be honest, that was when I first noticed it.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
and
Same
those ones.
here.
All right, so both of you guys noticed between Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
Largely because they're the most popular ones. Like, Tekken is more of a niche. You have to be in the fan base to really know of it.
Yeah.
While, um, Soul Calibur is kinda the same.
Hmm.
I like at a basic level the same, but because it uses swords and all that shit, it's
It's a little different. It's got
yeah,
that.
it's gotten
I'm sorry, I think you actually cut out a little bit there. It doesn't have the same
Did.
ring to it. Guys, you there? Did he die on us?
I think he might have died on us.
All right, well, while he's fixing that, we'll go to James about that stuff. I'm gonna pull him back in actually real quick if he hops back in. Yeah. Move to. All right, he should be back now. You back now, Gaius? Check your headset plug. I can cut this out after, so I'm not too worried about it. Gaius, me boy.
in my
Yes.
We heard you.
well, nice.
All right. All right. We can
Um,
just have that cut out. I'm
very
sure Jordan won't have too
The
much difficulty with
same.
that. All right. So going back to what we were talking about, you guys notice with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur is
it's a different
swords.
flavor to it.
Yeah, different flavor, a little bit more of a. It's got, like you said, with Tekken, a little bit more of a niche to it.
Yeah, like it's more plus with you can make your own character gives it a nice difference. It's
Hmm.
not technically different. It's just nice to be able to have option.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's not like that with Mortal Kombat and better.
Hmm. Sorry about that.
Um,
A little bit of silence. I was adjusting the bit rate for this.
that's fun. Um, like, I think more niche game might be like the Marvel versus Capcom.
Marvel versus Capcom, where you have to have like the whole. You got to know Marvel, you got to know Capcom.
Not just that, but I don't know if Street Fighter has it as well. I haven't played any of the new ones, but it's got like a assist system.
Oh, there are fighting games that have assist systems. I was actually gonna branch that topic a
Justice.
little bit. Yeah, Injustice and like Fighter Z.
Yeah, so it's just a nice little change.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very nice change. So
because
we've continue.
it makes it so you have to know which characters have good assists, like abilities. You have to have a good combo. You can't just have like a very punchy boy with a very another punchy boy.
So you're
Like
talking between like rushdown campers and zone characters.
yeah, like you have to balance out like your assist versus
Mm,
your main.
yeah. So going into the first couple sets of fighting games, I believe James, you were going to be talking something about Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. You
Well,
had.
that's one of the first similarities I noticed that some
Mhm.
fighting games were like
Uh,
almost the same.
yeah. So in
Because
regards to that, they kind of came out at the same time ish. I think Mortal Kombat was or Street Fighter was a year before Mortal Kombat in
we
1991.
can look this up.
Yeah, I think I had that open a second ago actually. Uh,
1987, Street Fighter One.
yeah. Street Fighter actually, the original Street Fighter apparently came out a little bit before Mortal Kombat, because it says Street Fighter 2 was released in 1991.
Yeah, Street Fighter Two even came out before Mortal Kombat One.
Yeah, so they kind of dominated the whole like
Yeah, they've been
zone.
competitors for ages and ages.
Oh yeah, they've been competitors for ages, even though, in my own personal opinion, obviously, they're pretty much the same game.
Hmm.
Yeah, I,
They're
Their
I think
combat
it's I
systems are almost identical.
yeah,
yeah
they've
I
got
think it's because they're so similar is what makes them so competitive.
yeah, like
Yeah,
they set the formula for the following like generations of fighting games.
Yeah,
Uh,
like aren't both those games in esports or like
y-
have huge tournaments?
yes, they do have big
um,
tournaments for both.
yeah. I think Street Fighter has a more prominent tournament, but it's
The more well-known ones are Mortal Kombat tournaments, but Street Fighter does have larger like outcomes,
yeah,
I believe.
yeah, it has a larger pool versus it's like a quiet niche.
What's funny is this actually can segue perfectly into one of the other games that I kind of it kind of follows that same pattern of like control types of like your generic like regular attacks, your specials, your comeback mechanic, and all that. They actually put some of the Street Fighter and or not Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter and what was it? They put some of the Street Fighter characters in Smash Ultimate and Smash games.
Yeah,
I believe they have Ryu and Ken, and I don't remember if Terry was a Street Fighter character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly
yeah,
I
Terry is
haven't
in Smash Ultimate.
I haven't played a fucking Smash game in ever.
Yeah, I've played a very little of them, but I've seen them, and from what I can tell,
Like
they follow almost the same pattern pretty much.
I I owned Brawl for like a month before my Wii like disc reader broke. So I was like, oh, that's just junk.
Yeah.
Um, and then I played Ultimate like once at a friend's house and
Mhm.
never again because I was like, man, this is kind of pee pee poo poo. I don't like this anymore.
Yeah. But going back to comparing them, like you know how they have their like generic jabs and heavies and all that stuff in most fighting games.
Yeah, and then
Like
Smash
every
has
fighting game has them.
I think something different about Smash might be items.
There is item usage in Smash, yes. There's
They
also the actual Smash attacks, as they're called.
Final Smashes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Final Smash fits into from what I can consider it, into the category of the comeback mechanic most fighting games
Well,
have
yeah, because
nowadays.
if you have the Smash build up or
Hmm.
whatever it's called, Smash meter,
Hmm.
in as the activated setting, the person that's losing gets theirs faster.
Yeah.
yeah, and this actually reminds me. So I've been playing a lot of DBZ Kakarot
Yeah.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually have that exact fucking thing where it's like a meter that like the more shit you do,
Oh, you
the
mean
more
the
the
limit release meter or whatever?
yeah.
where it
or
builds
whatever
up in
it's
a
called.
fight, and if you take a certain amount of damage, you can activate it, and you get a boost to
Or
your attack power and
no,
stuff.
I think it's like dealing damage. Like you have to. I think generally it gets you
Oh,
both.
yeah,
Like
right,
both
right.
get you.
Yeah, the
But like
burst
dealing,
meter.
yeah, and it's like cool, but it like doesn't stay for very long. So it's like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm just gonna
yeah.
fucking
Which
not.
going into like the comeback mechanics, like in Mortal Kombat nowadays, I believe they added this not too recently, maybe like 2 or 3 games ago, but the fatal blow. When your health gets to a certain point in the bar, it lets you perform a special attack on your opponent to try and turn the tide. And I believe they can do up to like half a bar health of damage. And that's meant to be like your comeback. You're supposed to try and use that to get the damage done so that you can start up another combo and finish off your opponent.
There's
Uh,
also things like advantage pushers,
yeah,
where the better you're doing, you'll get your X-ray.
yeah. In other games like Dragon Ball Fighters, there's the sparking, which is meant to be like a comeback mechanic because it slowly heals you damage you've taken. It increases your damage output. They've also put in something that if you're on your last character, that last character gets a 10% damage increase, and it's meant to give you the chance to try and at least make something of the last character you have in your roster. I know in Smash there are a couple characters that have them built in, like Lucario with his spirit meter, I believe, or something like
Or
that. Or his aura, yes, and then Terry with his go.
yeah, the more percentage you're at, the more powerful your attacks are.
Yeah, those are like comeback
Which is why
mechanics outside of.
Lucario is insanely
Yeah, I mean,
powerful in sudden death. Same with Terry.
Mm,
here's my take.
yes.
Just get good, nerd.
If you don't need the
Just just
comeback mechanic, why
just
have it?
just stop being bad.
Mm,
You don't need the comeback mechanic if you're always winning.
Yeah,
exactly.
so
I
just
know.
stop being bad, and you'll never have it.
But like all these games just are starting to use the same cut and dry formula of having
Yeah,
normals.
it's like it's like with like FPS games now too.
Yeah, they
It's
all just have the
the
same
little
thing.
branch. Like honestly, there's only minimal differences between Battlefield and COD.
Yeah, there's minimal
Nowadays,
differences.
they used to be the Battlefield more focused on big scale battles, and
Yeah, and
God used
like
to be
a
small
bit
scale battles.
a bit more realistic on Battlefield side, and now it's just kind of
Now they're dipping their toes
yeah,
into each other's territory.
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, all right. So we're actually gonna probably have to bring this into the 2D fighting games category just a little bit later than I'd expect. But well, we're kind of already talking about it, so we'll just keep going for it.
yeah, yeah. Let's
Um,
just go.
because we're gonna have another guest come in. He was running a little bit late. So going back into like comparisons between Smash and Mortal Kombat, they've got the same like they all have specials and all that. Like your specials in Mortal Kombat are those combo inputs where you do multiple button inputs at the same time, and they let you do a special move. Smash has their like recovery input, their side smash, their side specials, and all that.
I like to say in Mortal Kombat that a lot of the special moves are a lot more difficult to pull off.
Oh yeah, because they're like they do have they have a harder system for pulling them off because you have to get them like almost frame perfect.
Hmm.
I know Fighter Z is fairly similar in that, although it is a little bit more forgiving. I'm not sure about Street Fighter and um, what was it? I don't know. I don't know how Tekken works. I've never touched a Tekken game.
Yeah, same. Tech, like I said, Tekken is like super niche, so you have to
You
like
have to
I
already
only
know
I
about it.
only yeah I only know about it because my dad's friend used to play it a lot, so like I only knew it by proxy.
Yeah. Um, So going into talking about that, this is actually also going to tag into the previous episode where we talked about monster fighting games. Even in the in the Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Save the Earth and Godzilla Unleashed fighting games, you had your generic things because they were a fighting game. You had your normal attacks, your special attacks, and then you had your comeback mechanic, which was rage mode in most cases. Like each of these games is
Yeah,
following the same cut and dry pattern.
although I will say Godzilla games based because giant monster arenas. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, they're cool because of that. That was the very special thing. But for the most part, looking at most of the fighting games, it really depends on what you identify with more for like what characters you want to play, what you want to be able to do with said characters.
Oh, you know exactly what character I want to play.
You want to play Mothra.
Yes, the one that is absolute bullshit too.
Yes, that is true. But in I know in Fighter Z, I usually have a pretty mixed up team of like air control. I've got somebody who can control the top lane of the board, the middle lane of the board, and the bottom lane of the board. I usually have assists covering each lane. It's it covers like there's always variances between the characters, but they all have the same general ways to use them.
Yeah, they have like little special abilities that make them better for certain tasks, but at the end of the day, actually playing them is more or less the same.
Yeah, you just have to know like spacing and timing for some of their specials. That's really where the only difference comes in.
Yeah, like I don't know, like um me personally, I'm not super into fighting games because don't I don't care about having to learn like combos and
Oh,
like
believe me, we're not having this
board.
podcast because I'm a super
Yeah,
big fan of them. We're having
yeah,
this podcast because it's a controversial topic.
yeah. Like my issue is that they they, they kind of make themselves more complicated than they really have to be. Like for example, like when you in Fighter Z, like um board management, it's like, bruh, just
It's
like
completely unnecessary.
yeah, it's a lot to have to keep track of. So it's like
It's like controlling your own Here's the Storm match.
Yeah,
yeah,
pretty much. You have to control all three lanes of the board. And
it,
if you don't have as strong of a cover in one lane as the other one, you're gonna lose that.
yeah. So it's like I don't know. It's just like just let me play the game.
Yeah, just let me play it like normal.
Like obviously like give special little cool little doodads for each character, but don't
Hmm.
like force like don't like, allow me to play the game without having to worry about like fucking macro strategy.
Mm.
That's why I hate League of Legends. Not only is the
Yeah,
community bullshit, but the game is too.
yeah. The
Yeah,
game's would that count as a or
I can
would
count it kind of like you can count World of Warcraft sort of because you just have your basic attack stuff and then you have your
like
specials and you have something that usually comes in and
it's
makes it
just it's yeah it's just it's like related by like mechanics, not necessarily
yeah.
fighting game.
Like
Why does that make Star Wars Overwatch too?
you can apply many of the things that we're saying about fighting games to other
Yeah,
games
like
that have similar mechanics, but those other
yeah,
games usually have other things that kind of make them special.
nah,
Like
League is just shit.
League is just shit. We'll agree with that.
Um,
But like if you compare Skyrim to fighting games, you have your normal, you like your light attacks, your heavy attacks, you have ranged attacks, and you have your specials, which could be your spells, and then your comeback mechanic is your shout or whatever.
yeah, or just I don't know, alchemy,
Mm, yeah, you can
chugging
do
a bajillion health potions.
yeah, so you can do similar things in other games, but what makes them special is that you can build that character because it's an RPG. You can build that character into whatever you want it to be
You can
specifically.
be an archer with like max smithing for some reason.
Yeah, you can
Yeah, so
do
you
all the
can
stupid little
make the
things.
most bullshit bow, and then smithing, alchemy, and enchanting are all you fucking need.
Yeah. So a lot of people do the same things, but you do have the choice of doing other things. But in like Mortal Kombat and fucking Smash, you're all doing the same things, just
Yeah, it's like it's all a reaction, and none of it is like I wouldn't say none of it's skill, but like it's not it, the primary focus is reaction. Like there's
yeah.
no outplay, there's no like
Like you can read somebody's moves because everybody makes the same moves. Everybody has
yeah,
the same
it's
responses to certain actions. And then you can read that and counter it accordingly. That's kind of just keeping the list of responses in your head and
yeah,
reading
it's
which one.
you're not like forming your own little way to play. You're just responding to other people playing. the
Which,
same way you would.
yeah, you're basically playing against yourself, just with different timings.
Yeah, so it's just, it's not necessarily of get good. It's just
It's just play more like
react.
me.
Yeah, just play more. You'll get it.
Yeah. Actually, one of my roommates recently bought Fighter Z, and it made me realize a very interesting point. Because he plays like Mortal Kombat and Smash Ultimate, he understands what they call basic fighting game language, which is just the basic inputs and shit. So he got Fighter Z, and within like 20 minutes, he was playing almost at the same level I do. I'm only better because I've been playing longer and I know all the little tidbits of shit.
Yeah,
But
so it's like
there's
it,
no real learning curve if you know what fighting games are all about.
yeah, like if you've played one fighting game, you've played them all essentially.
Yeah, pretty much, because they're copy paste.
Which is the point we're trying to make in this episode.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, we
It is.
came full circle.
Yeah,
Yes. Damn.
that was fast.
That was a very
Oh,
fast podcast.
goodbye, Bear.
Oh, did he come in? All right, give us a
No,
second. We'll pop him in and we'll
nah,
keep going.
nah. I'm just saying like goodbye because like
Okay.
he said he was gonna be on, but
Right, yeah. Well, we still have some stuff that we can talk about regarding some of the games, because we can talk about the ones that were beforehand that weren't really the cut and paste like modem. Like we were
I
going to talk about Tyson Punch Out and that Kapow game.
oh yeah.
Just gonna mention Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Punch
All right.
Out is such a good fucking game. I don't give a shit who you are. Holy fuck, dude.
Actually,
We
made a
we
little
still
mad
actually have
in
to bring
Smash
in.
for quite a while.
We can actually
Dude,
still bring in like For Honor for that, because I know Bear plays For Honor and James plays For Honor. I play a
yeah,
little bit, but not much.
I own it. I own it. I don't play it
Yeah,
Why
but
not?
because he
because
doesn't want
I
to.
I I don't want to.
All right, but we're gonna
I
take a quick
I
little break and get him in here. So I'm just
I
gonna mute us up so we
yeah.
can get them in here. All
Imagine
right.
not being able to have read.
Well, welcome back. We're back from our short little intermission. Sorry about that. We just had to get our boy Bear in here. Say hello, Bear.
Hey, everybody, it's me again.
All right. So now you're never gonna hear from him again.
All right,
Back to
good,
No,
very
I'm kidding,
good.
man. Back to the topic at hand. We were talking about the copy paste and how some of the mechanics apply to other games, and we realized we missed a fairly important fighting game that we actually have a fairly large stake in our little group here. For Honor has very much the copy paste of
What's
most
that?
fighting games.
I've never heard of that game before.
You've never, yeah, right.
I've never heard of it before.
Dude, what is For Honor?
I don't know.
What is
Honor
For
doesn't
Honor?
exist.
Who is
Oh,
For Honor?
I've never
There we
played
go.
it before.
Are we
I'll do
playing
you
Jeopardy
one
here?
better. Why is For Honor?
Who is For Honor? How is For Honor?
Not
All
that
right.
good.
So going into
Oh.
For Honor just a little bit with like just talking about how it's got the same cut and paste mechanics where you've got your heavies, you've got your lights, you've got your little specials, and then of course you have your comeback mechanics like revenge. Some of your feats are comeback mechanics like fire flask, things like that turn the tide of the
They,
fight.
they got stuns, yeah.
Yeah, they got some stunts in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
So, I'm actually going to advocate against your point there more.
Well, you're
I'll
wrong,
take it.
so
You're wrong,
Okay.
but we're gonna
All
let
right.
you go, and then I'm gonna shut you
All right,
down.
cool. So I guess I'm just not gonna talk. How's that, huh?
No, make your
No,
point.
make your point.
See, For Honor's combat system, I think, is incredibly unique.
In what
Because
way?
there's no other games out there like it.
I'm
Sure, you can look at Mordhau and you can look at the release of the Chivalry 2 beta,
mhm.
but really, there's not another 4v4 mechanic fighting system that For Honor offers. I think it's incredibly unique.
Did you
Warhammer's
forget that there are
3v3.
Did you forget that there are duels in For Honor that are 1v1 and
Oh, of course
2v2?
there are. Of course there are, but that's not what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on the 4v4 mechanic
Mm.
Warhammer's
of
3v3.
For Honor.
You could do 4v4 in Smash Ultimate, by the way,
Okay, yes,
which
that is true.
I'm gonna have to say kind of nicks your point there. As
I
to say,
don't
there's no
think
other
so.
game with a
There, I
4v4.
agree with you on your point, but there's a lot of games that have
Yeah,
team fight
yeah.
mechanics.
There are a lot with multiple
yeah.
multiple character mechanics, including but not limited to Fighter Z, Smash Ultimate. I
Z-
believe
I mean, Xenoverse does that too.
Xenoverse does do that too. Oh, we didn't even touch Xenoverse. Ugh. Uh, but there are plenty of games that do have the multi.
I'm going to stick with my side. I
All right,
mean,
you can
I
do
think
that.
that For Honor is just
You
a
can.
unique experience.
We're gonna move you over to the side of the board that says wrong. Maybe we'll swap my face
Okay,
on the picture with
cool.
yours. I don't know.
Okay,
But
awesome.
you can have your opinion, and I hope you're happy with it.
Hey, Bear, remember when I said you were wrong?
No, when did you say that?
Like
So,
5 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening because I don't
It's a
listen to
damn.
what you say, Gaius.
You just did, so you're wrong again.
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you. I didn't
obviously,
know
you
it was
could if you
bringing your
responded.
attitude to the podcast today, Gaius.
Listen, whatever you bring to the table, we want it. It's okay, as long as it's not
Morg,
bad.
Morg, we're breaking up.
I didn't know I was dating you.
I
Oh,
didn't either until
Oh
just now.
shit! Damn, I've been in a relationship this whole time and I didn't even know.
No, you gotta
You
ask
did.
Morg out, then immediately dump him.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Morg. You want to go out?
No.
Well, too
Oh,
bad. I didn't want to either.
All right, getting back to the topic at hand. So, ignoring the specific mechanics of 4v4 or multi-character versus multi-character, you do have the basic cut and paste there with the lights, the heavies, the specials, and the comeback mechanics, which can be attributed
I
to the
mean, the
many things.
combat system is very different still with, the lock-on system, the guard directions,
There
stuff like
are
that.
differences with that, but those are
That's more what I
minor
was focusing
adjustments.
on.
Yeah, that's a fair adjustment there. But there is like in as we were saying with Xenoverse 2, you do have to lock on to a specific character. That has a lock-on mechanic that's fairly similar. Although it fucking toggles and doesn't, you don't have to hold the button down unless they fix that. I don't recall.
um, I believe the.
Referring
Nah,
to,
I, now I might be wrong on this, but I believe the old Dragon Ball Z games also had lock on.
they might have. I think the Tenkaichis did
Yeah,
because
but
you
I
sometimes had
I
to fight multiple.
I could be wrong though.
Could be. Not sure. Haven't played them in a while. But I know
Yeah,
that
they're
Xenoverse.
yeah they're like PS2 era,
Yeah.
so they're like fucking ancient. So I
I
haven't played it in
know
forever.
Xenoverse 1 and 2 did have lock on mechanics for the fights. Because if you didn't lock on, you wouldn't follow the character. Because there's a lot of motion in that game. So they had to put some sort of lock on in there. Which kind of. Uh,
I will say though that For Honor, in terms of like fighting games, is probably the most unique.
it
But
is fairly
that
pretty much the most unique, yes.
on the other
I'm
hand,
turning your people on you, Morg.
Eh,
nah.
on
I
the other
see.
hand,
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. You didn't get to my other half. On the other hand, it isn't a high hurdle to reach. So like,
all you gotta do is throw in some special mechanic.
yeah,
Something
it's
interesting like the feats. That's a fairly special mechanic because they're not like inputs. They're just like a direction on a D-pad that you have to do. They're pretty much kill streaks like in COD.
yeah. So it's like it adds some flavor, but
I mean, it's technically
it's
just
it's it's like comparing a 5-star gourmet meal to like I don't know, like a fucking microwave
a
dinner.
McDonald's cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's
McDonald's cheese.
I don't know, man. McDonald's cheeseburger is pretty good.
Oh, their chicken
And
sandwiches are pretty okay.
I mean it's gonna be fucking amazing for me. In May.
Mm.
What happens in May?
I'm currently fasting for Lent, so I don't eat until like I don't eat like you know meat and shit until like May 2nd.
All right. Uh,
So
Okay, cool.
hopping back to the topic at hand
Anyways,
because we keep getting a little sidetracked, but that's okay. That's okay. We're just going through it. Going back to how the games have like the generic mechanics usually. We didn't touch really much on Dragon Ball Xenoverse, those games, but we tapped into them a little bit when we were talking about For Honor because they are fairly comparable. Fighters or Xenoverse 1 and 2 had the like generic specials. They had the heavies, the lights. They did
Yeah,
have the mechanic, which they share with Fighter Z, where you could teleport behind your enemy, which was a fairly Dragon Ball thing. That is
Nothing
fairly special.
personnel, kid.
Nothing personal. That's
um,
pretty much how it would work too.
and like yeah, like you could like pop out of their asshole and be like, yes, hello,
Hello,
I'm
take
I'm
my
this,
beam.
yeah, like it. Although I will say this, Xenoverse 1 and 2, broken as fuck,
Mm,
should not have should not have been released because holy shit,
dude, their
it
netcodes are so
netcodes
bad.
were bad. Like you think like so like would you guys say like For Honor has bad netcode?
Man, I gotta be real with you. I just got a job at Lowe's. I don't know what a net code is.
It's basically like the interactions between your characters in the server, like generated world.
Yes,
Like,
No, I wouldn't say so.
Do you rubber
I,
band? Do your attacks like look like they hit, but they don't actually hit?
And most of the
Do
problems with For Honor.
Yeah, most of the problems with For
um,
Honor. So
yeah,
you'd say they do have fairly bad netcodes.
I suppose so. I mean,
In
I
Xenoverse,
personally don't really
you don't really notice
experience
it.
that. Yeah,
Well,
no.
in Xenoverse, the netcodes were so bad, you could throw a punch from across the arena, and suddenly you'd be next to your opponent, and they'd be like on the other side of the arena again.
yeah, like
It got so bad.
if you could
Hmm.
even get a connection.
Have you considered that that's just a part of it?
It is
Uh,
not. They've tried to fix it, and they made it worse.
yeah, they've been trying to
Well,
fix it for years, and they're just
it,
fucking bad.
They just can't figure out why it's such a problem. But
Just easy.
it
Just it's
sounds
just
like something's
stop being
wrong.
bad at developing.
just don't make it peer to peer, or actually don't make it server based.
Yeah, if the issues with servers is make it like interpersonal connection.
But also that was the problem with For Honor, where people they did a
Yes.
full blackout of the game because they didn't have servers.
I
So if
mean,
they can,
to be fair, it's still better than
it's still better
Xenoverse,
than fucking Xenoverse.
because at least
At least
like
you
in
can
Bear's,
see your attacks hit.
yeah, at least in Bear's case, like you can fucking play the game.
Fucking
Yeah.
Xenoverse, you couldn't do shit.
Yeah, it was a multiplayer game, but it was single player.
Yeah, you could do single player in your own like private server, and then you could go into multiplayer where you got into one of the
Like
big world servers.
and
Hmm.
like you couldn't even do like a LAN group
Yeah,
with it
the
because like
closest you had was local battle, where you had to use two controllers on the same system, and
Hmm.
that was like nightmare fuel.
yeah, because I'm
Interesting.
pretty sure it had the same issues.
Yeah, it had the same issue still, so it was like something with how the character models interacted. But back to like the generic things. It has like the heavies, the lights, if you could land them, the specials, which were a lot easier to land because they covered more of the arena. And you had your comeback mechanic was your limit burst, which would give you a little like extra perks to your character. Like you could auto recover health and your energy that you'd use for attacks. You also had transformations that you could use as comeback mechanics. So kind of similar to the revenge and feats for honor, where you could like drop a healing flag and fight within that, do a stamina pulse or whatever it is that JJ does.
Right.
But they were fairly similar in that regards. But they're all like really cut and paste with a lot of their mechanics to the point that they're starting to become still the same games. Uh, I believe this is where, well, that's all I've got on the topic. Do you guys have anything to say on that part of the topic?
No.
I don't know much about bit rates and stuff.
I mean, just
Yeah.
like in general for the mechanics of games being similar.
I definitely do think that not only with just fighting games, but with a lot of games, just a lot of games these days, specifically fighting games though, they're losing their individuality because there's just not that much. There's no difference between them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mentioned like Battlefield and COD for example, like how they're just sort of blending to be the same game now instead of them each having a very specific reason to play.
yeah.
An excellent example is it's not a fighting game, granted, but Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row. Saints Row, the developers were like, "Yo, our game is way too much like GTA," so they just went off the rails with it, and it was successful.
Yeah,
But
they added some crazy shit to that.
yeah, but all these
GTA and
fighting
Cyberpunk.
games,
Yeah, and actually,
all,
yeah, a good example is the like open world for Cyberpunk is just fucking GTA with quests.
Yeah.
GTA, but with wall run. Oh wait,
Oh wait,
Oh wait, no wall run because they cut like
half of the
fucking
mechanics that they.
half of the
9
game
years
out.
in development, still can't add in everything they wanted to.
I'll cut
Yeah,
them some slack because they kind of fucked themselves by setting that release date and then not actually giving themselves enough time. But I'll cut them some
yeah,
slack because people were really pushing them to get it out.
yeah. I
right.
mean, I'm of the mind of like you shouldn't announce a game until it's just needs polishing.
Yeah, until there's like a
Like
couple more bugs to get out and it's not gonna
yeah,
break the
if
game.
you're at the polishing stage, that's when you announce it and confirm a date.
Yeah,
Like don't confirm the date like a month from now. Confirm it like 4 months. You have four
I
months to just polish the game, and that's it.
yeah.
I still can't play Cyberpunk.
They took it
Yeah,
off the
it's
PS4 store or the PlayStation store because
yeah,
they can't optimize it for PS4.
Well, like I was saying, um, with uh, Dragon Ball Z and not Dragon Ball Z,
Dragon
the
Ball
Dragon Ball
Fighters.
fighting games,
Yeah.
and the Naruto fighting games, they're
Oh yeah.
just so similar.
They're pretty much the
yeah,
same. They have
yeah.
They are the
energy
same.
gauges. They're the
Well,
same,
to be
just
fair,
different
to be fair,
characters.
any weeb game, it's the
This
same.
this
Right.
goes back to
Granted,
something we said earlier. That was that it's all the same game. Just which characters would you like to fight with?
I'm pretty sure there's like a weeb Street Fighter game, which like I know like Street Fighter is
Uh,
from Japan.
are you talking like
Street
There's like
Pokken
Fighter.
Tournament?
no like there's like it's like a more weeb
Pokken
version of
Tournament's not
Street Fighter.
weeb. I have it for Switch.
Isn't
It's
that a
pretty fun.
Pokemon tournament fighting game?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
it's actually
weeb.
pretty fun too.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I've been
weeb.
told that, but
I,
fucking weeb anime.
hold
Okay.
on, I'm looking it up.
I
I
wouldn't
I'm,
consider, Pokemon to be weeb shit.
I mean,
Yeah, I
it did
wouldn't
originally
either.
come from Japan, so it is an
yeah,
anime.
Yeah, but it's been so
it's
westernized and
Yeah.
It
stuff. I
has.
mean,
yeah, okay, weeb apologist.
Weeb apologist, but I'm not. I'm a little sympathetic because they do raise the point that they've kind of become a lot more Western because the last region was actually based on like England, Scotland area,
Yeah.
yeah.
so it has
Um,
become a lot more Western.
Okay, yeah, I figured the name. Blaze Blue is
Oh,
like a
Blaze Blue,
yeah.
God,
It's more of like a weeb Street Fighter. I'm
and
pretty
they
sure it even has the
literally.
same like character menu too.
Here's what's funny about that: the developers for Blaze Blue helped work on Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, so
So they literally, it's all branching together. Pretty soon there'll be like 5 companies that make all these games.
Truth is, game was the same from the start.
yeah, the issue is that like I think that is the thing is like all of these game developers are making so many different games that that's why they're all the same.
Mm.
Like
like I've been trying to say, all these game devs they see this one formula, and it's just the same thing with the Naruto and Dragon
yeah,
Ball and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Well,
yeah,
the
And
deal is, continue. Sorry.
yeah, you continue.
and the thing is that nobody wants to break away from that because because a lot of companies these days aren't focusing on the game, they're focusing on the cash grab aspect of it.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
it's a shame
because it's
because
cut and paste because it works.
yeah. Like
yeah,
I remember fucking back when I was a kid, like games were so different. Like for an example, RPGs. Like you would be hard pressed back back in the early 2000s to find similar RPGs because they would all have
Different ways of
wildly
branching
different
out skills.
settings. They'd have different skills, like different ways to get into those skills. Leveling
Yeah,
systems would be different. Like they all had a unique thing.
Hmm.
there's very little similarities between an RPG like the Elder Scrolls series and something like Star Wars: The Republic or World
Or
of
like
Dark
Warcraft.
Souls even.
Dragon Age,
Yeah,
Kings of Amalur, Baldur's Gate, which is just literally D&D.
Path of Exile even, if you include that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like
They all have different things. They're following not the same exact formula because they have different ways of
and
doing
even
it.
Assassin's Creed. Like,
Yeah,
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 like
different branches of things that you could do.
yeah, like and then Neverwinter Nights, where you could have the option to either take the game like as an actual RPG, or you could shit post the whole way. Like you can make your own like race even. So like I named my race, fucking like big bad retard, and then named my character Swoltard, and I played a barbarian with like maxed out strength, minimal intelligence, and it even changed dialogue.
Yeah, like they had differences. They weren't cut and paste. But as soon as like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat took over the fighting game scene, everything went with the same formula because that's what worked
Because
for those games.
yeah, it's what got them the money, and that's the issue. Is like I think it's partially also the issue of consumers as well. Like it's not just the companies, because if they wouldn't do this if they didn't get the money.
Here's my proposal. I want a fighting game with quick time events in the fight, just to see what it would be like. Like
I'm pretty
something
sure
special.
like Naruto,
Do they?
Shippuden Ultimate Storm
The
Ninja Storm,
old
something
the
like
old
that. It
the
has QuickTime events and stuff.
the old yeah, and like the old like Dragon Ball Z games like
Yeah,
Budokai
the old ones.
Tenkaichi had
They have
beam
those things.
blasts and shit like that.
Yeah, they were good.
They had beam struggles. Like they had unique shit there.
Yeah, but now
Well,
they don't have those
Naruto
really anymore.
Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 Shippuden, whatever the fuck it is,
Whatever
Naruto.
the heck it is.
But one of the most recent ones, it has that exact thing, and if you miss it, or if you miss your button presses, then you
You get
mess
fucked.
up your combo.
Yeah, you get fucked.
Yeah, so like that's like a cool little thing that makes it unique. It's one of
Yeah.
the few gems.
It's a little thing that just makes it just the slightest bit different from all the other ones. It gives it that little bit of pop when you see, oh, there's quick time events in this. What's that gonna be like?
Yeah,
You'll
it's and the fact they
there's
have to
quick time
figure out.
events in For Honor 2. It's called trying to light parry.
That's not a quick time event. That's borderline impossible.
Oh, I don't know.
Listen,
It's
quick, and
Highlander's
it's timed.
Highlander's
time
second
event.
light, unless they fixed it.
No.
Okay,
no,
no,
they're never gonna
Like
fix
I
that.
said, it's borderline impossible.
Another gaming genre that's extremely guilty of this copy paste, rinse and repeat kind of thing. The sports series
Oh, yeah.
of gaming. It's
Oh
just,
yeah, like
FIFA has not
FIFA.
changed since it first came out.
it hasn't.
Yeah, I mean to be
It's
fair,
just soccer.
to be fair, it's soccer. Like what do you expect?
What are you gonna change?
I'd
I don't
say
know, guns?
Listen,
Killing
I
people?
do.
that would be
There
based.
is, I do have a counterpoint to that, but it's kind of also assisting by saying that they've all become pretty much the same. I played a game for the Game Boy Advance that was called Backyard Baseball, and they were a lot different from normal baseball games. Like they were different from the Madden game for the Game Boy, which was weird to even think about. Because
Right.
like you had first person, you were at bat, you hit the things, and you went around the bases and stuff. And now you could steal bases and all that stuff, and you had like more control over your character instead of them just following a set like this is what they do
I
when
want
you
a
do this.
sports-based RPG.
You want a what? A sports-based RPG?
Yes.
That
I
sounds
hate
actually pretty
actually.
cool.
Please, no.
No, like
Stop
think
it.
about it. You give yourself skill, you give yourself like reflexes
Like
for
yeah,
if
you
you're
have to
playing
like
baseball.
you have to go to practice.
Going to practice gives you a
This is
skill
turning
point.
this is turning into Persona.
Like you have, no, I mean like not just like in the game. Like you have to go to like a set like real life
Oh
calendar.
yeah, you have to go to practice.
Like day
Okay,
to
okay.
day, you
I'm
sit
sorry,
playing the
wait.
game for 3 hours during practice, and then you just get a skill
Yeah, like,
point.
and it's not like it's like real time, as in like the match is actually like 3 hours
It's
long.
real
Yeah.
time, and
Each
it's played
game is
with
like 3 hours.
It's
and the
first
practice
person.
is online.
multiplayer, and
It's
there's like
first person.
multiple people playing
you-
on the same teams and all that shit. It's like
Yeah,
Wii,
it's-
Wii baseball, but you actually have to improve your character.
you can actually get 2 bonus skill points by just getting clocked in the mouth with a baseball.
You can
Yeah.
cheat, but you have to be very careful about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh
you-
yeah, if you get
you
caught
have to-
using steroids,
You
you'll
have to
get
time
a
your
penalty.
steroid use.
yeah.
Make
You
sure
have
you can piss clean on a drug test by the time you
Like,
don't take
and you have to like actually take steroids.
Yeah,
It
you have
takes your
to.
blood to get your shit into the game.
Dude,
Yeah,
that would be
you
a
do have
wild
to
game.
sacrifice
That'd be
your blood.
wild.
You have to
Fi-
send your fucking urine test to the actual game development studio.
And
They have to make sure it tastes right.
yeah, they have to taste test it.
This is starting to turn into like the precursor of SAO, and I hate it.
Oh no.
I know
Oh no!
we're heading in that direction, and I don't like it.
Listen, let's just
Listen, though,
embrace
the
it. It has
first
to be
season
VR.
of FAO wasn't bad.
It has to
okay?
be VR. I want them to make a sports game in VR, like
Oh,
Wii
no.
Sports
Don't they already
in
have
VR.
one?
Wii Sports.
I don't know.
It's the
Final
The
I
co-
want
Fantasy
a
map.
VR version of the Wii.
the only like the like in a tournament the final like teams like coach will be Matt
Yeah, just purely Wii Mat from freaking Wii Sports Resort.
Oh no!
and he just teaches you how to cheat really well.
Like literally, if you could, I'm fairly certain if you could look from the point of view of Matt, it just says bullshit. That's all he is. He's bullshit.
I don't know. I did pretty good in Wii Sports Resort sword fighting.
Oh,
yeah,
believe me,
Fighting was great.
sword fighting was great, but the freaking
Is
anything
that
else.
a fighting game?
Yeah, I was
Technically, I mean, you have
Bringing it back
technical
to fighting
specials.
games.
Wii boxing.
Wii
Wii
boxing.
boxing. Let's figure out Wii boxing.
Wii Tennis, a fighting game.
Wii
You know-
boxing, I would actually count. Wii sword fighting, I would technically count. Yes, but like,
That's actually it's actually funny that we do bring up we boxing is because I mean, believe it or not, that's a fighting game.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
you have, but it still follows
it's-
some of the things.
It's
Well, it's
just
different.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out, to be honest. Except
Yeah,
Mike
it is.
Tyson is Matt.
Except Mike Tyson's Matt, and everything's going like, wait.
Matt Tyson's Punch Out.
You ever have that glitch when playing Wii boxing where both your gloves are on the same remote and you're just trying to figure out why it's on the same remote?
You're
Yeah.
holding the remotes backwards, son.
Oh, you're
Oh,
holding
like-
it sideways.
The nunchuck doesn't work, so you've got the frickin' remote and you're just swinging both your fists at the same time. and
Imagine fighing like that.
that'd be terrible.
That
From
would
just
be
one
It's like
direction.
tying your hands together and saying, "Fight Mike Tyson."
oh, that'd be fucking great.
Yeah.
Challenge him to a spelling contest.
A spelling bee. That'd be great.
Oh man.
Spell the word spell. F.
That's
You're wrong.
incorrect. All right, but perfect. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Go or fuck.
Punch Out.
Shut up.
Meg Griffin's Punch-Out.
You got me with the frickin' spelling bee bullshit. Mike Tyson's Punch Out was one of the only games, or one of the precursor games, that doesn't actually use the same formula. It is
Okay.
two set things. You just punch.
And you
You
block.
punch and you dodge.
Yeah, it's pure, beautiful bliss for just simplicity.
It's simple.
Just-
There's no combos. There's no specials. You don't
It,
have
it
a
is
comeback.
objectively the best fighting game.
You don't have comeback mechanics, and everybody is at the same fucking level.
Hmm.
Well, except for the
Except
AI
for
boxers you
Tyson.
fight.
Yeah,
Mike Tyson's gonna kick your ass almost 9 times out of 10.
I actually
Yeah.
beat Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah,
it's
so have I, but it's hard.
Yeah,
It-
It's not easy.
It's not.
Think you just like play patty cake with him? So
It's kind of what it is, but your hands are your face.
you just
Oh,
have to
okay.
ask him what his name is.
Mike Tyson.
yeah.
But yeah, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, one of the only games I'm aware of that doesn't follow that same pattern. But granted, it's kind of one of a
It's-
few that,
It's
so
also
simple
like
that it didn't have enough room.
yeah,
yeah, like to be fair though, it is also like one of the first. So
Yeah.
like,
It's like Kapow, where they
yeah, and it seems to like be like one of those. I feel like arcade fighting games
yeah
will always be, with the exception of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, will always be
simple.
different than the others.
Yeah, like Kapow, I
Wait,
believe.
wait, wait, hold on. Not would like the Simpsons arcade fighting game would
Oh,
that
all
be?
right.
Do
Okay.
do they have
All right.
specials? Do they have lights? Is there
No,
a comeback mechanic?
I think no. You either die, you block, or you hit. And
There's another one then. Best fighting game, The Simpsons
All
Fighting
right.
Mania or whatever.
there's also like the TMNT one that's like ancient as well.
That one I know had specials.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about comeback. I think there was a comeback mechanic, but I think it was
yeah,
based on items or something. Like
yeah.
you
Like
could break a
I
trash
think
can and get a slice of pizza that heals you or whatever.
yeah. So it's not really like items to help you fight. It's just items to help you not die.
Yeah.
What, have you never eaten trash can pizza before?
Dude, trash
Dude,
can pizza's the
I
best.
dude,
I
I
was about to say.
live off of that.
Yeah.
3-day-old pizza boxes. Yeah, it's still good.
I don't see too much mold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it
Mold,
goes.
It has enough
mold is
preservative, it's fine.
mold is good for the body.
As long as it's not black mold, it's good for you.
I don't know, dog. It's
Don't
like
eat
it's
the-
like a black olive.
Ah, pretty
It
sure the
builds
black mold is the deadliest one.
It builds character.
All right, fair enough. It also builds brain damage, but we're not going to talk about that.
Well, I am retarded after all.
I think that's what
All
happened to Mike
right.
Tyson.
Huh.
All right, so what other games can you think of that don't follow that cut and dry, just copy paste pattern? Because we've got the Simpsons game, the TMNT game, ish.
You got Mike Tyson's Punch
Mike
Out.
Tyson's Punch Out, yes.
The Simpsons game.
The Simpsons game will forever be my favorite response. I believe there was actually well, technically speaking, it's technically it's no, it's not technically an RPG. I'm trying to think about how you would you be able to put Pokemon as technically a fighting game because you're pitting two creatures against one another to fight.
You
No.
have your light
Nah.
attack, heavy attack, and
You
use
do.
special-
You have your things that hit lightly. You have your heavy hitting things, and then you have your freaking
you
comeback
have
mechanics.
Splash, you have hyper beam, you have
You have your comeback mechanics and the
mom.
items you equip. So I think you could count it as a fighting game. That's kind of sad.
I mean, I would.
it's
I
a turn-based fighting game, but it's still a fighting game.
Yeah.
I guess.
don't know.
Well, that requires much strategy.
I would consider it more of just a plain cut JRPG.
But Pokemon Stadium.
No, that's a fighting game.
Now,
Same
okay.
fucking
Hear,
thing,
hear me
just
out,
in
guys. Hear
Stadium.
me out, guys. Hear me out, guys. Minecraft PvP.
Yes, fighting
yes,
game.
fighting game.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I changed my vote. Minecraft Hunger Games is the peak
The
fighting
peak
game.
of combat.
All right. Okay. Well,
If you
I don't
can
know
win
what.
with a
I don't know
fishing
about that. But
The first battle royale.
the first.
I don't know.
Listen, you
Oh,
can win with a
that's-
fishing rod. I'm gonna take that as the best fighting game there is.
Yeah, not gonna
I don't know,
lie.
have you ever been hit in the head with the
I don't
fishing
know, bro.
rod?
Isabel in Smash Ultimate has a fishing rod.
That's the
Huh.
strongest character in that game right there.
Uh-huh.
I'm certain.
Alright. Well, let's see. Fighting games that, well, technically Doom has a multiplayer that's not really a fighting game. It's kind of just a search and destroy in a way.
Arena shooter,
It's
I would
just
say.
an FPS.
Yeah, it's an FPS.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, if they made Melee viable in Doom
Yeah.
Eternal,
yeah,
I would
that-
say
Consider Dead by Daylight a fighting game.
no, that's one of those
No.
thriller survival things, which is like,
is this podcast just gonna be us like coming upon the realization that every game is a fighting game?
With,
Yeah,
with
I'm
that
Wait a
attitude,
minute.
anything's a fighting
I'm
game.
slowly trying to figure out what you guys define a fighting game as because it's getting wider and wider.
it's
Pokemon
starting
is
to because
not.
we're
Listen, Among Us, fighting game.
no.
Okay. Well,
Yes,
I,
Technically,
yes.
I don't-
yes. It's verbal fighting.
What?
It's verbal fighting.
What?
You
Wait,
gotta throw that special out there.
Wait,
Red is
wait,
sus.
wait a second.
That's your
Wait,
special
wait
right
a second.
there.
Comeback mechanic.
Would Phoenix Wright be considered a fighting
Yeah.
Oh my god,
No.
would
No.
it? Yes. Your Honor, objection. Overruled. Shit, there's his comeback mechanic.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Phoenix Wright. There you
Oh
go.
god.
no.
No, we won't count those. Those
Would
ones are
Earthbound.
specific. Earthbound, technically. Would Undertale count? I really don't want to bring it up, but would it?
What
Would
are
it
you
count?
talking about? What is a fighting game?
Maybe.
Morg, define a fighting game now.
Fight.
I fight.
Fight?
That's how it works. That's what you do.
By definition, if you fight, it's a fighting game.
So when me and my parents and my whole family gather around the table to play Monopoly and we start
Yes.
beating each other up, is that a fight? Is Monopoly
Yes.
a fighting game?
Monopoly
Yes.
is the
No.
pinnacle fighting game.
Hungry Hippos is a fighting game.
No,
Yes.
Technically,
it's not.
If there is combat, there is fighting. If there is
I
fighting, it is
disagree.
fighting game.
No, it is a fighting game if there is combat.
What about I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating
Is there
simulator?
Yeah.
combat?
No!
Then it's not
But
a
you
fighting game.
argue, But you
But-
argue?
But
Can you
but-
argue it?
Yes.
but I will say this. Technically, okay. I never played it. Give me a little rundown. Like
It's basically a dating sim where you're trying to seduce Colonel Sanders, I think.
other people trying to seduce Colonel Sanders.
I mean, yeah, everybody's trying to impress the dude.
It's a fighting game.
It's a fighting game.
Oh
You're
my
fighting over
goodness.
Sanders. You're fighting over that finger-licking good bod.
If we considered Pokemon a fighting game, I mean XCOM 2 is also a fighting game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Does that make FPS as a fighting game?
Yes.
Wait, does that
Oh
make
god, it's a
Gorilla-
fighting person game.
Is Gorilla Tag a fighting game?
Maybe.
Yes.
is laser tag a fighting game?
Yes.
Yes.
Combat.
Competitive of them all.
Okay,
Tony-
let's
Tony-
actually.
Is Tony Hawk's Skater 3?
Can you hit people with your skateboard? Yes.
Yes.
It's a fighting game. Let's
Skate
narrow
series
this down.
from fighting game.
Let's actually narrow that down. So
Wait, what
fighting
I
game
hate
we
is-
can define as as at least two combatants physically going to injure each other to decide a victor in a like one-on-one or
Well,
a
that
2v2.
the 2v2 might
The
narrow it
only
down,
thing you
but,
can do in the game is attack
Like-
someone.
Nice name, Bear.
Thank you. For those of you who can't see, I've renamed myself in the Discord server to Fighting Game.
Wait, does
I
it make
expect
Sweeties a
everybody
fighting
else in the
game?
call to follow suit.
I might as well.
Okay.
Can I change my nickname? Nah.
Nah, we'll let somebody do it for you.
Hold on.
I got
I'm gonna make a little funny meme in real quick.
Anyways,
Wait, why don't we
Hi.
number ourselves fighting game 1, 2, and 3?
I
Pie
gotta be
chart.
number one since I was number one.
Too
Yeah,
late.
I was Fighting Game number one.
Yeah, but I'm fighting game 1. That's different.
Okay, well, James is Fighting Game.
He's the
G is
original.
Lowercase.
All right. Oh god, there we go.
Alright.
Alrighty. So there we go. Now we're all fighting games because everything's a fighting
Anyways.
game.
Apparently so.
Apparently, yes.
Does that make Ghost Runner a fighting game too?
Does it?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I suppose so.
That makes Dark Souls
Yeah.
a fighting game. Shit.
Yeah,
Well,
did you
already
Dark
say
Souls
Dark Souls
is
is
a
a fighting
fighting game,
Yeah,
actually.
It is actually. Boss fights, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Blades
not
you can
one
invade
v
other
one
games.
or. It's not an enclosed arena fighting game.
I mean, technically it's enclosed.
True, the
Some-
boss
some
areas
boss
are
fights are.
closed off.
I mean, and there's also a closed system in the world. You can't just like. It's not like an open world game where you can just kind of go on forever until like the edge of the whatever.
That is true. There is a linear pathway you kind of have to follow. Like you can find little areas in it, but at the end of the day, you do have to go through each area in a specific way.
Yeah.
I was joking at first, but I think we did just kind of classify every game as a fighting game.
Every game with
Yeah.
conflict is a fighting game, technically. But going
Yeah,
for
just like
generic
games
arena
right.
fighters with the copy paste like mechanics, those are what we're mainly talking about. We got a little off topic there.
Phasmophobia fighting game.
You're fighting ghosts. Fuck it.
Yeah,
You get
I mean,
killed. That's a
with
that's a game over.
with how I'd
your
play,
comeback
that is a
mechanics and
fun game.
crucifix.
Without you play, it's a fighting game. Oh, Gaius, I love you. No homo.
My life is a fighting game.
That's
I'm always
fair.
fighting my inner demons.
I'm fighting the fucking society we live in.
Society.
Anyways, so
Batman.
getting back to
To the
getting back
actual
on
fighting
topic.
games.
Shut up. Getting back on topic. What else can be said? I mean, there are so many rinse and repeat copy paste games out there that a lot of these companies are just following the same thing
They're
over and
following
over.
the pattern, following the formula. The only thing that's really different is the characters. And sometimes they bring characters from the other games to their own game.
Very
Yeah,
true.
Like,
because they're so fucking similar.
oh my god, Smash Ultimate proves that every game is a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because there's so many characters there, and they all fight.
Mario fighting game.
Fighting game.
Sonic
Fighting game.
Guys, don't do this again.
Star Fox fighting game.
Please, no.
Animal Crossing fighting game.
No.
Yes.
You have to fight the tax collector.
You gotta fight Tom Nook in capitalism.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh
god.
man. Fucking
So,
Final Fantasy fighting game.
well, I actually meant to bring that up
Actually,
earlier.
it does make
I'm
sense.
I'm sure that there is actually a Final Fantasy, one of 14 or 70, how many are out now?
Yeah, however many.
Yes.
I'm sure that there's at least one fighting game.
By the way, I have just made a little funny
arena-defined
meme.
fighting game.
Yes.
I love it, guys. It's great.
Where did you send it? Memes?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Oh
I
god.
don't like that they're all different sizes. Your
I
pie
don't
chart
like
is
that they
also-
don't.
Their pie chart. What did
Oh,
you
it's
do?
so bad. What have you done?
Did you just overlay 3 circles?
No, I just downloaded a random pie chart off of Google Image.
It's off
It's
center.
wrong. It's off center and wrong. I don't like that.
Yeah.
The texts are
Take-
weird sizes for each
Yeah,
fighting.
they are.
Yeah, you're welcome. I made it.
The
Yeah,
bullet points are off.
Yeah, the bullet points are off and they're not even the right colors.
Oh god.
Oh my god, they're
All
not.
right. All right. Before this delves any further into hell. Fucking. All right. So all fighting games are the same. Those who agree say aye.
I
Aye.
We got him.
I am a
Ladies and
master of
gentlemen, we got
LP
him.
horrors.
All right, so that's been the Fighting Game Controversy podcast. Feel free to send me an angry death threat email if you want to, but that's
Me too, me too.
Same here.
I'm
you'll
down
never
for that.
you'll never find our emails, but
If you can find our email, good luck.
if you can find our emails, I applaud
I'll-
your
I'll-
effort. Please
I'll
don't
post
dox us.
mine.
Yeah, do you
I'll
want?
post my
I'll
email.
post mine.
Please don't. No, we can't do that in
I'm
the
gonna
Discord
post
server.
yours, Morg.
Maybe
can't
not in the
do that in the
Discord
Discord
server,
server.
but I'll post it on the YouTube video. If this eventually
In the
goes on.
Yeah.
comment section.
Yeah, put it
Yeah.
in the comments
Yeah, I
section.
should
Yeah.
do that too. Yeah. All right. So if you want to send us some angry, fine-worded emails about how we're wrong and how all this is incorrect, send us the evidence, send us the death threats, and we'll come back with another one. Fighting games are all the
Yeah.
same part two, and we'll just respond to that.
Yeah, and
Fighting games are
I'll
all
just-
the same part too. My life has become a fighting game.
I'll just
Fighting
reply
game
and
has
say that
begun.
you're wrong. I'm right.
Okay.
I don't
Guys,
know why,
I'm sorry, I
but the
don't-
word fighting looks spelt wrong to me.
Fighting. You say it so many times, and it just becomes.
My brain doesn't want to
something.
process it anymore.
Yeah. It's like the word
Ev-
much.
Yeah.
Much
Much.
Much.
fighting
Yeah, we have
game.
to change our names to much now.
No. All right.
Alright.
So thanks for joining us for this podcast. Send us whatever feedback you want on this. Send us some things that we should talk about. I don't know. We're kind of starting to run low on ideas, but next episode we're going to be going for is battle passes. Are they actually helpful in games, or have they kind of killed it? Are they lazy? Who knows? And that'll be with Juby as your host. And you might see some of us again, you might not. But thank you for tuning in to the Frame Rate podcast, and have a great day, everybody.
Have a great fighting game.
Have a great
God
Fighting game.
fucking damn it.
Fighting game.
All right. Thank you guys.